What's going on, everybody? 3, 2, 1, go. It is Thursday. I think it's around 7 o'clock wherever you're at. Where I'm at, it's 5 p.m. here in Western Colorado. Welcome to tonight's edition of Slay Security Plus. I am joined by my good friend here, Casually Joseph. And tonight, we're going to go through some real CompTIA practice questions from the CompTIA website, as well as a performance-based question. A little bit more about that here in a second. If you're brand new to Slay Security Plus, we are a community-driven initiative with the sole focus of helping you pass your Security Plus certification the first time, confidently and more efficiently, using industry top-tier study resources, absolutely free, while building community, mentorship, maybe some career skills along the way. And we have fun while we're doing it. So that's what we do. That's what we're here to do. We're here to party. Tonight, we're going to be answering some Professor Messer questions, as well as some of the legit CompTIA questions. Joseph, how's your day? I'm going to catch up on chat.
It was pretty relaxed today. I've been working through getting some issues sorted out with some automation that we're trying to implement to get some of these vulnerabilities remediated, and we've got some legacy CVEs that need patching that are basically just reg keys that need to be pushed. So we set out a notice. We're like, hey, test this in your environment. Tell us if it doesn't work before this date. If you don't tell us, it's getting pushed.
You gotta patch it.
I was gonna say it's old stuff. Easy. I mean, mostly just disabling certain encryption standards that are just unsafe and you shouldn't be using anyways. So
cool. So you guys do some things. You got to do some CIA. You got to do some protecting and some cyber in.
Yep.
J. Walter Smith, hello. I think J. Walter Smith is making reference to the one PBQ. I logged in last night to my CompTIA resources page to go over the PBQs, and my sponsorship expired in March, and we got to get that renewed. And so I did the next best thing, which was go to CompTIA's website and download their Cert Master Practice for students. They've got a free trial, which I've linked in chat. And it gives you, about 10 or 15 real practice security questions from CompTIA, as well as one PBQ. And then once we get that sponsorship refired, or I got to pay for it out of pocket, I don't care. We'll have the Cert Master Learn package again. So pivot, right? You don't have what you need, pivot. That's what we're going to do. 573-918. Hi, everyone. What's going on? Welcome to the party, pal.
very big congratulations to Justin Rower. I just passed my Sec Plus class with a 96. That's pretty dang good.
Oh, where is that at?
Towards the newer chats.
Let's go. There we go. I just finished my class for Sec Plus. Let's do it. Seeing a lot of Simply Cyber faces, which is awesome. It's a huge inspiration to us here at Slay Security Plus, which reminds me, we are proudly sponsored by the good folks at simplycyber.io. And so before we get into tonight's session, let's pay some bills and then let's get back after it.
Are you feeling lost in the vast world of cybersecurity, overwhelmed by technical jargon and confusing career paths? You're not alone. That's why I built Simply Cyber. Hi, I'm Dr. Gerald Ozier. Come join Simply Cyber, your supportive and inclusive community for navigating the exciting world of cyber. There's so much to take advantage of. Master the skills you need with Simply Cyber Academy, offering in-depth courses aligned with the GRC analyst role. Never feel isolated. Connect with fellow cyber enthusiasts and professionals in our thriving Discord server. Ask questions, get feedback, share your journey. Check out the Simply Cyber YouTube channel, delivering insightful interviews. What are your thoughts around, web app pen testing as entry level? And I included bug bounty here because that's very accessible to everybody. Practical skill demos and daily cyber threat briefs, all hosted by industry experts. There's so much more to discover. Are you ready to join the community and empower your future? Visit simplycyber.io/socials for all the links and start your cyber adventure today.
Let's go. I don't know why I'm so big. That's not what we're going for. All right, let's jump right back into it. Let's get the ticker going so you know what we're here for. If you're just dropping in, fire up chat. Let's get into some questions. I see Space Tacos in chat. J. Walter Smith, Michael and Nim. I see Justin Rohrer, a longtime Slay Security Plus member. Haircut Fish, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Laura Flores, longtime Slayer. I see old Slayers. I've seen brand new Slayers. If this is your first time joining us for Slay Security Plus, let us know in chat. I don't have a cool sound effect for you, but I always like knowing when we got new people.
Do we have any test takers? Anybody who's about to test?
That's a fantastic question. Anybody taking a test, let us know in chat. Let us know in chat. I see we've got a third very special guest who just dropped in the backstage. We have Professor Roger White from Professor Roger White's Study Lounge, who's joining us tonight for this edition of Slay Security Plus. I know, it's a surprise, but that's what we do is we bring up some of the special guests. It looks like he's getting some of his IT set up, some of his tech set up on the other side of things. So we're going to get rocking. Justin Rohrer, Joseph says he's getting ready for his Net Plus on the 30th.
Good luck. Net Plus is not easy. I mean, it definitely has a vocab dump, and I would be very caught up to speed on subnetting and VLANs.
Chris Rogers just passed my Security Plus 6013 to go. Thanks, Slay Security. Let's go. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, heck yeah. My daughters were here to surprise you. Call my name. I am famous, Michael says. Well, Michael and Nim, we're glad to have you here. You're part of the Slay Security Plus crew, and so in our world, you are famous, man. You're rocking it. And you know what? You're an inspiration to your daughters, which is even cooler. I got daughters myself, 2 of them, and they completely changed how I view the world. I will tell you that. Let's go. Professor Roger, when you're ready, jump on stage and we'll bring you on, but we're going to get to the questions. We got to do a shorter Slay Security Plus tonight. That's a little bit of housekeeping. I had a tooth pulled last week. It was a pretty nasty extraction, so I'm still healing. And then I got 2 sick kiddos, and so I told the family, hey, love Slay Security Plus. Give me 45 minutes to an hour. I want to make sure we get a good session in, and then I got to jump off tonight. And I know, Joseph, you've got homework, don't you?
I do. Yes,
cool.
I have another paper, and I've got a test due by the weekend. So,
yeah, he feels that. We're gonna bring in our other special guest, our third special guest tonight, Professor Roger White. Welcome.
Oh, I think you're muted, sir.
I think you're muted, which is a common occurrence here on Slay Security Plus. All right, you're gonna figure out some IT. That's okay. Some audio, video, some AV. All right, let's get fired up with some of these questions. We're going to jump right into this, ladies and gents. I went over here. This is the CompTIA Cert Master Practice. It's pretty cool. This is the free trial. I didn't link it in chat, so check that out if you're going to prepare for yourself. What I like about it is they're authored by CompTIA authors, and so you get a taste of what to expect, as well as what the user interface is going to look like come test day. Come test day. Professor Roger, are you with us? You're still muted. Check 1. No, we can't hear you, sir. Try maybe changing the input on the little gear. On your screen, there should be a gear here to the right, and you might need to edit your sound. All right, let's rock it. Let's get into some of these questions. Are you there, sir? Are you talking? Oh, I don't know. Well, all right. Start practice test. Okay. We're here to our first performance-based question. Okay. So let's get after this first question. This is what you can expect to see on test day. Now, again, like we've iterated. Now, let me unzoom this a little bit more what it's going to like the full screen is going to look like. Okay. Now, obviously on test day, you're going to have this box over here to your left is going to be filled up with many more because this is just a quick little practice demo. And the real test, of course, has up to 90 questions. But this is really close to what you're going to see on test day. You're going to see the questions that you have. You're going to see this flag for later over here, which is going to be really important. And in the case of the PBQ, you're going to have a scenario. and then various either drop-down menus or plug-and-play, stuff like that. This is just what I wanted to see. Thank you, Jesse. You are welcome, Jim Lund. Professor Roger Wright, would you mind nodding your head if you can hear us? Okay, I want to put you on right now and see if you've got audio. Will you talk? He's talking.
Still cannot hear him.
Microphone's not plugged in, sir. I don't know what's going on. We're excited to have you on the show, though. We're excited to collaborate and work together. I know that much. I'll let you give me a thumbs up when you think you have it. I think you can test from there, too. So this is what a PBQ is going to look like. They're really just kind of glorified multiple choice questions. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. It's kind of gets broken in the wrapping when you zoom in. So hopefully that's a little bit better.
And for anybody scared about the firewall PBQ, that if you get that one, it's drop-down boxes exactly like this.
And at least in and to piggyback on that, at least in my case, when I did my PBQ, at least one of the command line ones, it wasn't a blank like flashing command line. It was a fake looking command line, and you just dragged and dropped already pre-scripted commands. Like you didn't have to actually nmap anything. They would just have like 3 different pre-scripted nmap options that you drag and drop onto the command line. So I don't know if that's how it was with you, Joseph, for you having command line questions, but I never, at least in my Security Plus, I never got like an actual command line where I just had to cold type scripts in or type things in on my own.
I don't remember if I did.
Yeah.
If I did, right. It was not typed in. I'll tell you that much.
All right, Professor, let's try it again. We got audio? Chuck Wood? He's probably like, man. He's figuring it out. We'll get there. Do I have him muted or anything on accident? Nope. Okay. A security consultant for a newly launched managed service provider company, you have assisted in the security planning process to ensure the best security controls are in place for clients. However, an organization cannot realistically plan for every situation, so processes and procedures must be fluid and adjusted as security issues arise. With all things considered, clients have asked you to extend your consulting work past the initial planning process to assist with any security issues that arise in the first few months of business. You will also help select security controls to resolve any such problems. Remember, on test day, you only got 90 minutes and you have about 90 questions, which means you have roughly 1 minute per question. And this is about as meaty and sometimes even meatier on the PBQs, as in the scenarios can be pretty wordy. That's why on some of them, you may recognize them and be able to fly through them. The common rule of thumb, Boondock Saints, little throwback if you want to remember that line from that part of the movie. Common rule of thumb, though, is to save the PBQs to the very end for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is because your brain's going to be already kind of rocking and rolling in cyber world, right? So let's get after some of these questions. We're going to slide this over. We see a scenario, and I can't close this over here. That's okay. I see a scenario. A malicious actor was able to get inside the machine last week in the last attack. We need to immediately add systems that identify malicious activity on our network. No worries, Professor. We are here every week. Would love to have you on. Okay. All right. So going back to, I think it was domain 1, talking about security controls and different security functional types, right? Security control recommendation needed, right? We've got a malicious actor that's able to get on the machine the last attack. This scenario, the IT person or the owner is saying of this company, we need to immediately add systems that identify malicious activity on our network, all right? What do we have here? What are our choices? Well, our choices are security control remediation needed. Is it a managerial control? Is it an operational control, a physical control, or a technical control? I'll let you in chat. This is where we're all going to do this more of an interactive style. Joseph and I tried the first one and we ran out of time because we were jaw jacking and I must have had it going. Go ahead and drop in chat what you think this first answer is going to be. And then we're going to plug and play.
So I will say some key words for this is that we want to identify malicious activity on our network. We are looking for something that will detect any kind of malicious activity.
Joseph Smith says technical. Laura Flores says technical. BJ DSEC. Wow. DJ BSEC. Man, cannot speak today. Says technical. Let's try it again. What about right now? Is he talking?
Yes.
He's talking. Hey!
Yeah, I just realized the browser asks you if you want to allow.
You gotta allow the mic. Well, it's security,
Yes, sir.
sir. It's not convenience.
Yes, I
It's
forgot security.
not- Welcome to Slay Security Plus, Professor Roger.
But you said that there's a desk for this.
Sorry, I believe you're peeking out your mic or something. You cut you out for a second there.
Oh, hold on. Let me see what. Okay, we're getting there.
All right, our functional type on this question, we've got compensating, corrective, detective, deterrent, directive, and preventative.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So they want to,
Everybody.
we need to immediately add systems that identify malicious activity on our network. Identify, right? So there's a keyword. We have compensating controls, or functional type. We have corrective type. We have a detective type, a deterrent, a directive, and a preventative.
BSEC makes a good point. We need to detect, so we're looking for a detective.
Chelsea Reed, detective. Justin Rohr, detective. Ed Williams, detective. DJ BSEC.
Oh, everybody's saying detective for which one?
For
the
this first one, we're on this top one, Professor.
Okay.
And here's
Okay.
our scenario over here on the left. You're basically hired to be the new IT director, IT security director, and you're going to stay with this company and help them figure some things out, is their little
Right.
scenario. So a malicious actor was
Cool.
able to get on the machine, and we need something that can, it says identify. Well, another way to identify is probably detect. I like detective. And then our control remediation needed: install an alarm, install a barrier, install a key card, perform a security audit, set up a firewall, or update policy. And this is a great example of how the PBQs can be really simple and you'll overthink them and you'll see firewall and you're like, that's not, we obviously want like an ID, right? We want like an instruction, an IDS is what we're probably looking for, because we want to detect what's going on the network, not necessarily a firewall. But of all the options that CompTIA is giving you, I don't know, I think firewall is the closest one and is the only one that is a technical detective.
Well, there's another way, Jess, that I do with the PBQs, because we got to take our certs too, right?
Right.
Every time a new cert comes out, I have to take it. So what I do is I rule out what it's not, so it doesn't drive you crazy.
Yeah,
I
was gonna say, no, you're absolutely right. We know it's not alarm, barrier, or key card. And honestly, with this one specifically, we're only looking for a technical measure. Remember class. An alarm, that's not technical.
That's physical, right?
Barrier, we're thinking physical. Key card, well, it doesn't have anything to do really with what's going on in the network. Performing a security audit, that has nothing to do with detecting network activity. And then update policy. Well, our clear answer here is set up a firewall.
Right. That's how I do it. I rule out what it is because it becomes overwhelming, especially when you're under the clock.
All right, they got 5 minutes left. They make us really work for these, don't they?
Yeah, the trial does not last long.
Let's go, Slayers. We're doing the budget edition. This is the Baller on a Budget edition. IT manager, our employees are visiting dangerous, unsecure websites way too often. But we have, and we can fire this up, and it gives you the same question. So all we got to do is retake the test. So it's actually really straightforward. But our employees are visiting dangerous, unsecure websites way too often. But we have told them that they are not allowed to. Carl? What is security control remediation? A managerial, operational, physical, technical? Are they going to put covers on all the keyboards so nobody can type anymore? That doesn't sound like the correct answer. BSEC says in that last question, you're looking for a tech measure, so you're installing something that is detecting. But how are you going to know if it's detecting if you are not alerted with an alarm? Hey, he could be onto something there. That's definitely... It's what I tell people, going on to what Professor Rogers said. I tell people all the time when I'm studying is to practice your power of deduction while learning, because it will become second nature and will help in all aspects of for your study habits.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably not I'm sorry, Professor.
I'll say it's not set up firewall, but we don't have enough time to go back to it, so don't worry about it.
Well, we can go back too, because I can fire this up. All I have to do is refire it, and it goes back to this question. So what?
Okay, so one thing in the question, it says that identify malicious activity. Firewalls don't identify anything.
Correct. We
firewall's
when I talk
job is to allow or block. That's it.
That's why DJ BSEC is saying an alarm.
I suppose the alarm in this instance would have to be something like a SIM or an EDR platform that would set off a detection.
Next gen firewalls do identify. I'm gonna stick with firewall for time. All right, I'm gonna stick to my guns on this one. All right, I'm gonna stick to my guns. And we have this. We got our team. A bunch of Carls are going to the insecure websites. We don't want that to happen. We've told them, but I think we need to do something that's I need to do something managerial. That would be where I'm thinking on this one. What do you guys think?
So it's not an operational control, because we're not looking at how we are keeping our systems or apps secure. And it's not a physical control, because we're not going to lock them to the desk and tell them no accessing the internet. And it's definitely, it could be a technical control. So we're looking at technical or managerial for this question. It depends. I think with the wording on this question, I am actually leaning towards technical.
Well, technical means what?
Technical would be anything that we use to control their activity or control the traffic or identify the traffic. But it says at the end of the question, but we have told them that they are not allowed to. So it sounds like they already have a policy in place.
Right.
Right. So technical, an easy way to remember is hands-on keyboard. Right? So for this, if you haven't told them already, your keyboard could be an email, but you're configuring something.
I'll tell you what, DJ BSEC he's thinking the same thing on this one. Compensating, corrective, detective, deterrent, directive, or preventative. What do we think, class? Remember, on test day, we're not going to get this time, so we're
not going to get this much time.
No,
but our employees are visiting, and we're going to pop off on a timing warning here in a second, and that's okay. We've got 30 seconds, and in fact, let's just do this. Practice test, continue practice test. This is where it's kind of a pain. We can submit and see where we got on the first one, though. We got some of it correct. We got some of it right.
33, so we got three of the three. Oh, no, because we put 4 answers in. No, it doesn't count unless you get all 3.
Yep, we got all 3 on this one, though. On that very first question, we were correct, class, so good job.
Yes.
Good job. Now here's the beauty.
Firewalls can detect, and
now we can go right back to it, and I did this with Joseph, and it should put us right back into it to the exact same question. Yep.
I'm not sure if this is specifically this practice doing it, or if it's like this on test day as well. But this definitely setup firewall is not the answer I'd give for this answer in practice.
But I see what they're trying to say. That's the only real thing.
Yeah, Jim Lund. And we'll go, when we get through this PBQ, we fly through some of these questions, because they'll go a little bit quicker here in a minute. We'll show you that flag process on that user interface so that you can go back and review your questions. Compensating, corrective, detective, deterrent, directive, and preventative. Our employees are visiting unsecure, dangerous websites way too often, but we've told them they are not allowed to. Well, if you told somebody and they're not, either deterrent or preventative.
My opinion is that it would be a preventative. If not, can you go back to the list, please?
Yep.
If not it's not corrective. Corrective doesn't fit for this answer.
And welcome,
Laura-
David. He said it's his first time here.
Beautiful. Well, welcome. Welcome to the party. Perform a security audit. Install a barrier key card, an alarm. Is there a key card that can work with corrective? Oh, J.E.N. Michelle says no, corrective would be after the fact, which is
Yes, it
true.
would.
Which is true. Firewall and CompTIA, when I do my PBQs, you could have firewall twice. That's totally.
You do a firewall again?
You could. I mean, is it preventative at this point, though?
It depends on what they're asking for. It sounds like they're asking for a technical control because of the wording, but
They're not. I
they
think we're
could be asking for a managerial control.
They're
Ed
trying to
Williams
screw you
says update policy. Well, because they've been told not to, but you know, if the policy doesn't say you're not allowed to,
Well, they haven't been told not to.
Yeah, it says, but we have told them they are not allowed to. In the question here,
No, it says,
But-
but have we? You know, it's saying.
but
that
have we? Oh, we can't read.
Look at you
Yeah, we
guys.
can read.
This is why we need the brain. We need somebody who's been teaching. Ladies and gentlemen of Slate Security Plus, Professor Roger White has been teaching Security Plus for a number of years, along with many other facets of the cybersecurity industry. So we're super excited to have him on. This is like, I had the idea last stream to do a PBQ, CompTIA one, and then just bring people on that are kind of in the industry. I reached out to Professor Roger White because we've been talking about collaborating for a while. I said, yo, what are you doing tonight? He said, I'll jump on. Let's do it.
Yeah,
So, let's get it.
Unfortunately, reading Rainbow was already dead by the time I was growing up, so I never learned how to read properly. This changes it completely. This is managerial.
This is managerial. Functional type's probably directive, right? And then I think we're going to update policy.
Update policy. Yep. Now so to explain that, I mean, people have been screaming at us, especially Professor Roger White. It is a policy. I thought the way I was reading it, and I was wrong. I was reading it that we have told them, but since we haven't told them, we need to tell them and put the policy in place that you are not allowed to visit these websites.
Yeah.
Yep. So we agree. Managerial directive. Have we told them? Okay. Remember, class, fully read the question. All right. Our network admin, our DJ BSEC, walks in the room and says, what are you guys doing? You guys are not doing your job correctly. A bunch of Carls. Their server room is not behind a locked door, making it unsecure. We need to evaluate. That could be a keyword. We need to evaluate and ensure only authorized people can enter.
And this is where Scotch tape come in.
If the server room, what do we think? Class, is it managerial, operational, physical, or technical?
Oh, Laura's saying technical. Justin's saying technical.
Tree Hugger is already going for the throat here, saying physical key card. I like physical. Let me know in chat if you all are getting value out of these PBQs and if you would like to do more of them, because I will either buy this myself or go back out for some sponsorships. But let me know, please, in chat if you like these PBQs, if you like the CompTIA stuff.
Oh yeah, this is necessary because you know you can do all the damn questions in the world.
Yep.
Yep.
But,
I've had so many people in chat say that they've never even seen a PBQ until they come on here.
Right,
So it's like,
exactly.
and Cybercraft,
What-
Cybercraft doesn't pretty good, except for I don't think Cybercraft realizes that you can actually, his windows don't pop open when he opens the answers for some reason.
So
Literally,
I don't know if y'all ever gone on the Security Plus sign up page. There used to be a, what does a PBQ look like? FAQ hyperlink.
yeah, they
it
had like
would-
one or two, right?
It would take you there, and it had one or two.
Yeah.
The one that they had before I tested was broken. I thought that I was getting it wrong, and they don't tell you whether like why it's wrong. They just tell you that it's wrong. But it was a firewall one, and I'm like, there's no way this isn't right. Like, the traffic would flow, the policies are in place, like this has the corrective access that it needs. And I even showed it. So I went to my boss and I was like, all right, am I going insane, or do I not know how networks work? And he went through and he looked at it, he's like, no, this is right. And it was still wrong.
Oh man, that hurt. But I want to say this, guys, right? The easy way to remember physical, if it's attached to a building, it's physical. Or facilities. If it's attached to a facility, it is physical. This is attached to a facility.
Yep. Guards,
Right, so
gates, guns,
remember
locks.
all right. On that note, then, are we looking at barrier or a key card?
Key card. We want to be able to track who's coming in and out and make sure it's an authorized user. So key cards. This might be, I don't know if this is an overshare for the Security Plus, but key cards actually tie into your auth structure, and you can assign accounts to them, and you assign them to people. So you would be able to see, is this person, who is it? What kind of access do they have? They're going to hit the detector, and it's going to be like, oh, you don't have level 3 access. You're not coming in.
Boop. You don't get booped in.
No booped
Ah.
in.
We like it. Let's move on, class. Space Tacos. Once upon a time in the Messer Discord, Professor Messer, Jesse hosted an all PBQ session. It was a maze ball. So very good. Man, I was telling my wife, I said, it was about a year ago today that I started studying for my Security Plus. Just about a year to go today that I started studying for mine. Yep. All right, folks, let's move on to some of these questions. I don't remember the actual Security Plus having little pictures, but maybe it did. Maybe it did.
No, it don't.
No.
It doesn't. I was like, I don't remember
No.
having little pictures. But it does look very much like this layout. Okay, class?
Yeah.
If it had
So-
pictures, it was the world's most boring picture book I've ever read.
No, I never had.
We
No.
see our question pane. When you see a question that has a square, that means you have multiple choices, multiple options on the one question. If it's a circle, that typically means that you only have the one choice, right? Then you see you have this flag here later for review. There's a little CompTIA Security Plus hack to where you can kind of fast forward your exam and then you actually unlock. So what happens is it's just like this. You'll sit down and you move linearly through the exam. 1 to 2 to 3. You can go back to 4, but you have no way to see everything, right? Until you get to the end, and then it lets you see this pane over here on the left with all of the questions that you've answered, all of the ones that you flagged, and all of the ones that you just haven't answered. And you can go through and systematically kind of make sure that you've gotten them, right? So going back to the Professor Messer style questions, as we read these questions, you're going to start to go, holy cow, Jesse's right. These are pretty darn close to the Messer is pretty close to the real deal. A tech director evaluates the benefits of implementing automation and orchestration into the organization after receiving approval and funding notification for the annual budget. Knowing several benefits tied to automation, what challenges exist when managing automation? Select the 3 best options. Again, this is a great place to point out that CompTIA, sometimes when they give you multiple options on one question, that's a good indicator that you can get partial credit. CompTIA does give you partial credit for the question, so answer it to the best of your abilities. And we're not doing it on the VVOX style. This is classic. Put your answers in chat. This is all kind of group learning. So if you want to play off each other, if you agree with each other, that's great. If you disagree, that's totally great. We're here to learn. We're going to select the best 3 options, and I'm going to catch up with chat and look at some of these questions.
let's see. Hey, Regine, how you doing? Welcome.
DJ B-Sec is screaming at the screen. He probably likes this style too, but he's like wants us to get the answers correctly put in.
Cosmic Cowboy, I heard of him before.
I'm the Cosmic Cowboy.
Oh, okay. Like,
Yeah, I heard of him.
Cosmic
That's me.
Duh.
That's right, Ms01. CompTIA does not ding you for getting the answer incorrect.
Yeah.
So
just
if
don't
you get
get
the wrong
points.
answer, they don't take points away. You don't get any points. But if you leave the answer completely blank, then yes, you don't get points for that, which is just as bad as late to the party. Well, at least you're at the party. And with that, welcome to the party, pal. Toasty Pop's coming in. Okay, Justin Rohr with our first. We got some suggestions coming in. Laura Flores says she thinks tech debt, staff retention, and single point of failure. DJ BSEC says cost, staff retention, single point of failure.
I agree with cost, and I agree with single point of failure. Technical debt, I think, is more likely than staff retention, because technical debt is more of a DevOps concept. That's when you it's kind of when you're cutting corners, like you have messy code, and then it gets harder to maintain.
Oh, because then you're in debt technically, because you got to go back. Like, I'll go back and fix it later. I'll go back and clean it up later, and you just keep doing sloppy work, and then you get in such debt to your own creation that you can never go back and clean it. And it's just unsecure and junk.
Oh, BSEC's saying it's not tech debt because you are automating to remove technical debt.
Oh. Cost, single point of failure, staff retention. I'm gonna lock these three answers. You guys cool with that, fam? Joseph, Professor Roger, what do you think?
I'm fine with this one. I could be wrong about technical debt.
A nationwide company is preparing to overhaul its encryption protocols due to newly released options that can quickly protect all data. It is leaning towards an encryption standard that will allow faster processing and does not require operating system intervention to encrypt the data. What standard will the company be employing? Opal storage specification, FDE or full disk encryption, self-encrypting drives, or key encryption key? Do self-encrypting drives require the operating system intervention? BSEC? Joseph, Professor Roger?
No.
No, they do not.
That's where my mind went.
Full disk encryption definitely uses your processor.
You know,
It also uses your TPM or Trusted Platform module, or if you don't have one of those, you'll need a hardware security module of sorts. At least for BitLocker, other types of full disk encryption will at the very least use your processor and operating system.
BSEC agrees, self-encrypting. All right, we got 30 seconds. Let's get one more in, and then we can at least see where we're at on these four. The IT department, actually, we're not going to have time to do. Let's just see where we're on these first three. Finish it. Answered. 1, 2, 3. Answered. Submit and finish. Come on, class. Okay. Let's review the ones so far.
Oh, looks like we got one wrong on the PBQ.
We did.
Does it tell you which one is right for that
Security
one?
control. Isn't that
Scenario 2 needs operational control. Operational controls are for the human human element. Policies, procedures, and training programs are examples of operational controls. Scenario 2 needs a directive control type. We agreed. And then we need to update policy. Oh, dang. So that was the day-to-day. They're visiting. Yeah, I could see how operational. Okay. Number 2. The correct answer was single point of failure, cost, and technical debt. Number 3
is thinking like a manager. Unfortunately for the Security Plus, you have to think more like a keyboard wizard.
Yep. Let's fire it up again. We left off on number 4, right, class? Yep.
Yes, sir.
This isn't so bad. I would like to just fly through them, but
yeah.
The IT department of a medium-sized company is in the process of finalizing agreements with various vendors. The legal team drafted the contracts to ensure proper arrangements. The team considers 3 types of agreements: NDAs, BPAs, and MOUs. The IT team wants to select the most appropriate agreement for each vendor to ensure smooth collaboration. This is a DJ BSET question, I feel like. Which of the following agreements protects sensitive information shared between the company and its vendors? Business Partnership Agreement, or BPA, a Memorandum of Agreement, or MOA, a Non-Disclosure Agreement, or NDA, and finally, a Memorandum of Understanding, or an MOU. We only have one choice, so what are we looking at?
Looks like chat is saying NDA.
I see NDA. I also say BPA.
Where do you guys see the chat at?
YouTube, and if you are in the restream window, it is right next to our. If you're in the restream window, it is also right next to the stream.
Yeah, but I don't see. I guess YouTube has a different chat. Okay. You can send me the YouTube link.
You got that, Jesse, or do you need me to?
Would you mind doing that, please, Joseph? We have NDA on file. I like NDA. Don't go back and clean up those other questions.
So why NDA, Jesse?
I like NDA, and not just because chat says it, but because we see this in my honestly, I chose NDA just because I've not even in cyber, just in my professional world, I've used NDAs before, and they're for this specific purpose, so that information is not shared publicly between companies. Or is a memorandum of understanding?
Okay, let's see. Kind of small a word.
I thought a non-disclosure act was saying we've never been here. We don't want to know about anything like that's proprietary. And you can't talk about anything that we're doing, and you can't say that we were ever here. Kind of like when was it IBM went to what's his bucket for back in the day when they were trying to get an operating system. They had the option between Bill Gates and what's his name. Can't remember his name, but he did. That makes me really sad. But he did CPM. They went to his house and he was flying. And they said, "We want you to sign this NDA, which means you can." IBM was never here. You can't tell us about we won't tell about your proprietary stuff, and you can't talk about our proprietary stuff.
Right. But it's tricky because they're a vendor. But yeah, right. So it depending what they're doing, they'll sign an NDA. But usually you have an understanding of what the vendor's doing, your expectations. You will have that memorandum of understanding. Yeah.
Smooth
because
operator.
It said, and that's good, Michael. It says smooth. So,
a business partnership agreement could also protect sensitive data while assuring a smooth. BSEC is coming in hot, saying NDAs can be between anyone. This is NDA. They are talking about sensitive info.
Yeah, but the key word is smooth operation. NDA doesn't guarantee that. What guarantees that is an understanding between me and the vendor.
All right, I like
Try
this
that. That's
discourse.
perfect,
I like this. This is fun. All
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna go with memorandum of understanding. Hey, look, it's Justin Gold in the server room. When setting up a new server room for sensitive data storage, a tech company seeks to enhance preventative measures against unauthorized access. Which measure would be most effective for this purpose? Server encryption, physical security, video surveillance, or intrusion detection system, or IDS?
So, I suppose it would be best to clarify exactly what access they're trying to prevent, physical or over the network. In this scenario, it sounds like they are trying to protect against access to the server room itself.
I'm with Lara Flores on this one. Lara Flores. I'm going to go with physical security.
I agree.
Agreed. This one is pretty straightforward. And just like the real test, you're going to have some questions that you're going to look at and just immediately you're going to know the answer. And you're going to have some where you're going to have to kind of sit for a minute and go through the deduction. And this is wrong. This is wrong. One thing we do see here in this question, I said this in the Professor Messer stuff, is we do see most. It is all caps.
Yes.
Which tells you that this could very well be a partial credit question, meaning CompTIA is trying to tell you that there is a good answer, there's a better answer, and there's a best answer. And while maybe video surveillance is an okay answer, you may actually get partial credit for that one, where they're probably looking for physical security. Again, answering home or bringing home why it's so important just to answer, give the answer, just your best guess. Excuse me, because you never know when CompTIA is going to give you that partial credit.
Right. And
thank you for discussing the question format. Absolutely, Jim Lund. This is a blast. We'll probably, if I can get Cert Master squared away by next week, we'll do a full round of probably all PBQs next week, providing I can get this. That'd be really fun. And then we'll do the same style, Professor. We'll have you. And actually next week we have Zach Hill from Black Hills joining us. Really excited for that too. So that'll be super fun. Yeah.
Zach coming through.
Yeah, next week Zach Hill's joining us from Black Hills. He confirmed today with me. I'm really excited for that one. We're talking about some mental health, running your own race in cybersecurity. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right, team. It's 5:48. I know we usually go long. I can hear my sick daughter in there crying away, and it doesn't sit right with me. So I know Mama's taking care of him. So let's get through this question, and then we're gonna call it short. Turn everybody loose a little bit early tonight. But don't worry, we're gonna be working hard, grinding out that sponsorship, getting that Cert Master Labs. Returning next week, same place, same time, for some PBQs and more stuff. So let's get through these questions, see where we're at. And then I do got to jump off and take care of the sick kiddo. The organization's engineering team observes a system failure during the implementation of new software patching. You gotta patch it. From a conceptual standpoint, what can the team use to restore the system to its original state? An impact analysis? Can they use test results? What about maintenance windows? Or a backout plan?
So what I'm reading here is that me and my everyday job, I screwed up because this is what I do.
Where you work at, though?
So I work for Barricade Cyber. And I do vulnerability management and patching, and I inform the customers about the different things they have to patch. Conceptually speaking, you would use a backup to solve this issue, but you would have to have a backup plan, I assume. That would be a plan that you have set up on how we roll back the server or roll back the patch. If we have to start from scratch with a reinstall of the application, whatever it may be, to fix the broken patch.
Well, in the corporate setting, right, is this is considered a change.
Yes.
So most companies, company I work for, that's what's called a CAB, a change advisory board, and they will and you have to submit a change, and that change has to include a back out or rollout plan. Right. So I put a change in Microsoft patching in 2 weeks or next week, and I have to put, well, what happens if it doesn't work? What is my back out plan?
As for the other answers as to why they're not an impact analysis, that is usually when we're talking about risk to a company. What impact does this risk have? Test results,
Right.
I'm assuming they're talking about testing a baseline or how the application performs in the environment. And maintenance
impact
windows.
analysis has nothing to do with patching.
No. And maintenance windows would be when you would install the patch.
So we like backup plan, right? I mean, it has to be. And it says I like this keyword conceptual too.
Yep.
All right, team. Last question. Really enjoyed this format. We'll probably still do the VBox because it's interactive, but I really enjoyed kind of having everybody on and answering these CompTIA questions together. This is pretty fun. An acceptable use policy, or an AUP, requires the system to encrypt confidential information while in transit. Data in transit, data at rest, and data in use. Remember, we root that information and always link it to the concept so that you're learning holistically. All employees must use secure email when exchanging proprietary information with external vendors. What of the following describes this type of acceptable use policy? Technical, preventative, operational, or managerial? Hey, Justin Gold! Welcome to the party, pal. Good to have you, brother. Justin Gold is a fellow moderator for Jerry Ozier's Dr. Jerry Ozier's Simply Cyber.
Yep.
He's become a friend of mine, a fellow Magic the Gathering player, and an IT professional. Justin,
he does the news, right?
Yeah, Jerry does. Yeah. He does the news with a twist. Operational Joseph Smith. Hey, we got. Oh, I just peeked. Sorry, I got excited. We got Dax Acton in chat. What's up, Dax? Space Tacos is here too, Dax. See, look, comment from Space Tacos.
Yeah,
a comment from Dax. We're a group that actually formed as friends in the Professor Messer group. So Dax here in chat and Space Tacos actually became friends when I was studying for Security Plus. Dax led Security Plus study groups on Discord and told stories about how the exam can be, and gave insider hacks and all kinds of stuff. And it was a huge inspiration to why I'm here. And I can say without a shadow of doubt, honestly, if it wasn't for Dax, there would be no Slay Security Plus. That culmination of meeting Dax, Dr. Jerry Ozier, the Black Hills team, TCM, that all happened like within that first 2 months of getting into cybersecurity last year, year and a half ago. And it was just like this perfect culmination. So without a lot of those influences, there'd be no Slay Security Plus. And Dax is pinnacle in that inspiration. So thank you for being here, brother. Hope all is well.
And I remember your journey. It was awesome.
You do, Professor. I remember back in the day asking you questions and checking out what you were doing. All right. Well, everybody's saying operational. Let's lock it in.
I agree.
And we're going to see how we did on 4, 5, and 6. And then next week, we're going to lock in. We're going to do more of these. Do you guys want to do the VVox or more CompTIA questions? Let me know in chat and you'll get it. All right, let's submit these. Finish practice test. So 4, 5, and 6 is what we're looking to light up green.
4, 5, 6, and 7.
4, 5, 6, and 7. Submit all and finish. Let's see.
Which one is that?
Well, let's review the questions.
Oh yeah, that was.
Well, it looks like we got number 4 wrong.
What? Oh yeah, you didn't answer that.
Memorandum of Understanding. The correct answer is NDA, Non-Disclosure Act. DJ BSEC, swinging in.
Cool.
I was also Camp NDA, but I thought MOU could have been right. I think
Me
the
too.
key word for me was sensitive information.
Agreed.
We are
Agreed.
trying
And
to
BSEC,
protect-
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, my bad.
BSEC said that, and I probably should have said that I saw that too, which was a key. We are correct on physical security. We're correct on the backout plan, and then we are correct on operational, which I had to think about that one for a second. So
Yep. So an operational control is essentially anything that you put in place to keep systems and apps secure or data. I don't know if it's Sec Plus or if it's the ISC2 exams that have administrative controls, but administrative controls would be keeping data safe.
yeah,
Whereas-
you'll see. I saw that in the ISC2 world, not so much in the CompTIA world.
Mhm.
But they do ask, yeah. Now, Jess, you want to leave it open for questions and answers? Me and Joseph.
If you guys would like to answer some questions just
Are you
regarding
cool
the
with that,
test,
Joseph?
I'm fine with that.
Are you
I
cool
do
with-
have homework I need to get to, but I don't think either of us can end the stream.
well, that would be the thing. You have to text me and say, "Hey, we're done." And if I'm with the Justin Rohr's got to go get the kiddo to baseball. See you in the AM. We got other people. You know what, team? Let's end it tonight, Professor. Let me kill this real quick so we get everybody's beautiful faces on here. Let's end it tonight early because I want to do my family right and get them taken care of. But I also want to do all of you right and make sure that we're having a nice, complete live stream with Jesse J, the Cosmic Cowboy, rolling in on the Slay Security Plus. Professor Roger, if you are not busy next Thursday, we'd love to have you back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll come and hang out.
That'd be really, really cool. Joseph, Barricade Cyber Solutions, Casually Joseph. You can catch him every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, as long as he's not putting out a fire for Barricade Cyber Solutions, on Dr. Jerry Ozier's Daily Cyber Threat Brief, where we, in a live interactive way, Dr. Jerry Ozier goes through the top cybersecurity headlines in an interactive way while building insight, community, career building, mentorship, you name it. That's an easy link. Just type in Dr. Jerry Ozier, Simply Cyber, Daily Cyber Threat Brief. We're there. I moderate there. Professor Roger White's going to be popping in. And then Casually Joseph, you can check him out. All of you at Slay Security Plus World, you are Slay Security Plus. I am Jesse J. And until the next time, man, take care of yourselves. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.